Open letter. A little bunny called Bruce. Dear Bruce, it's Easter Sunday. And while most folks are celebrating renewal and resurrection, you're over here submitting your latest motion like a neglected child scrawling a last-minute excuse for why he forgot his homework again. Except this time, instead of the interrogated, you've dressed it up as a request for 21 days because why shouldn't the court once again contort itself to accommodate the self-inflicted chaos tornado that is your litigation strategy? I mean, it's not like you've already turned this case into a personal TED Talk show on how to weaponize court dockets for content and delay. Because no holiday is complete until Bruce Deuce Foreskin stuffs his legal basket full of excuses, misdirection, and some off-brand authority plucked from his fading Rolodex of 11th Circuit citations. You're not owned a procedural pause while you sit on the sidelines like a washed-up sports commentator, waiting to see how many of your teammates fumble before you jump in with hindsight legal stakes. Now, after weeks of dodging and weaving, you wander in like some robe-clad oracle of procedural fairness, declaring, I shall answer, but only when the stars align with the sacred amendment complaint falls from the heaven. Bruce, you're not Gandalf. You're not even Gollum. You're just a guy who can't stop quoting case law like it's slam poetry while trying to convince the court that you're too important to follow the same freaking deadlines as everyone else. Well, let's not pretend this is about judicial efficiency, wrong word, or fairness or clarity. This is about one thing. It's one thing only. Bruce Penelope Matzkin being absolutely allergic to accountability. You can't stop filing, but God forbid you actually file what's required. You want the platform, not the process. You want the YouTube sound bites, not the legal consequences. And now, like a neutered house cat howling at the screen door, you're begging for more time that you have no right to demand and no moral ground to stand on. Will you stand there, your little chest puffed out like a mall cop with delusions of law school glory, waving around case law that has absolutely nothing to do with your posture in this case, because you invoked Pitano, Dresdner Bank, and Fritz like they're your personal security blanket, hoping no one notices you're hiding behind precedent while refusing to even respond to the actual allegations, dumbass. You quote supersession of pleadings like you're dropping gospel, when in reality you're just stalling yet again and hoping the court doesn't notice your legs are made of jello and your filings read like they were dictated through a pillow. It's not just pathetic, Brucey. It's absolutely embarrassing. Let's talk about this sudden burst of concern for the other defendants. Oh, please, that's not magnanimity. That's panic, bitch. That's you trying to use the pro se defendants you've been whispering sweet nothing to behind the scenes like ventriloquist trying to blame the dummy as your latest smokescreen for inaction. You're not clearing anything. You're muddying the water, trying to pretend that the fog is someone else's problem. That wasn't me. You also claimed you followed Local Rule 71B because you sent one email and waited 48 hours. That's not how conferral works, dumbass. That's not how anything works except maybe in your living room, courtroom, where you star in Law and Disorder, the Deuce Foreskin Chronicles. It is so hilarious that you continue to describe yourself as a pro se while referencing arguments and filings made by other defendants whose legal filings you practically authored with your fingertips and micromanaging Facebook chat logs. You're about as pro se as a ventriloquist dummy is autonomous. Surprised, no one replied, so you just filed anyway because in Bruce's world, failure to respond isn't silence, it's a green light. Rules aren't rules, they're weak suggestions. Deadlines aren't deadlines, they're dramatic tension. But here's the real kicker, Brucey. You filed this on Easter Sunday. Let's set aside how tone deaf that is. Let's set aside how desperate that makes you look. Trust me, it makes you look really desperate. Let's instead ask, what kind of man spends a sacred holiday groveling for 21 more days to not answer a complaint that's already been sitting in his inbox like a festering indictment of his entire career? Are you that terrified of confronting your own behavior in writing, Brucey? Or is it just another stall so you can keep your name on the headlines of an ecosystem you pretend to detest while secretly dependent on it for relevance? Because make no mistake, Brucey, you're not a victim in this case. You are its architect, its choreographer, its mascot. You're its little bitch on the side. You've inserted yourself into group chats, and you continue to do so today, according to everybody else, to orchestrate live stream narratives. You've tried to buy audio files from minors like you're running some weird black market of bad evidence. You've lied to businesses, lied about restraining orders, played the martyr card so many times it's worn down to a card stock and glitter glue. And now on a Sunday meant for reflection, redemption, you give us this. A filing that just isn't just weak. It's cowardly. This isn't legal strategy. It's a man failing. A man who ran out of his moves but refuses to admit it. A man whose relationship with responsibility is so fractured he'd rather impersonate a pro se defendant than confront what he actually said, what he actually did, and what the record actually shows. And in case you're wondering, yes, the record is coming. Every motion, every hate group chat, every whisper in the dark, your name is on it all. So keep filing away, little Brucey boy. Keep clawing for delays. Keep pretending your flailing is strategy and your cowardice is just a prudence. Because the clock is ticking and no holiday, no motion, no quote from a 2007 appellate decision will save you from the mountain of receipts you helped build. Oh, you wanted 21 days? You're going to get a lifetime of exposure instead. Sincerely, Shizzy Wiznut. Still standing, still reading, still watching you squirm like the little bitch you are, and still your daddy. I love this place. So much fun.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy Wiznut.